Welcome to this new Addon Spotlight. In this Addon Spotlight we're gonna look at the latest edition of Gardermoen Airport, which is one of the, I would say, top community add-ons which you can have in Flight Simulator. So we missed some of the versions because there were already several other ones included. In the last version we looked at the interior of the aircraft, of the airport, but there are now several new things being added, including, I would say, also passengers who are looking, but also some new additions like the 8C tower now as an interior, and also some corrections to the taxiway signs. There were added some stairs to some of the jetway models, more night lighting of the night terminal, right? So if you're flying in the night, you will see in the main terminal, you can see the lighting is better. And there's in the real latest edition, there's an added airline code for gates. That was hard. And that's to make sure that the AI air traffic should now park to more realistic gate numbers for that airline. Other than that, there are several, I would say, enhancements, including custom buildings around the GA area and the hangars around the icing areas. So let's have a look at it, right? So we're already, I would say, flying with a drone. So the first stop is, of course, the traffic tower, which is right in front of us. And that one has been updated one update ago, right? So we're currently looking at the latest update, but if you already run the previous one, you already have this. But I simply want to show it to you. You can go a little bit lower. It's always a challenge, right? So let me decrease the speed. So here we go. So this is now being fully, I would say, modeled, right? Including some people watching the screens. They're not moving because they're static. And that's what you need to do if you want to see these people. Also, if they're static, you need to install Dave's 3D people add-on also. So have a look at the description of this video where you will find all the links to all the downloads. And there you can have a look at the schemas, right? So even I would say this is realistic, right? So simply I would say a planning and also I would say a map of the airport itself. So really cool to see that they spend some time on that. So we continue flying, right, with the drone. So let's have a look at the gates themselves, right? Because there were some enhancements made there. So let's have a look if we can see it. Let's go to the walls. And here we can see, let's say, the gates. If you installed Dave's 3D people, you will now also see people here. And you can see an SAS airline just, I would say, approaching the gates. So that's cool. Continuing our trip. Other things which were added. This is not added. But if we go outside, there are now stairs with some of the runways like this one, so you can also use the stairs to, I would say, walk inside or outside the airport. So that's really cool to see. Continue a trip to the roof again. Again, these amazing buildings, right? I'm really, I would say, I still like this airport so much. There's so much being added manually and hand modeled. It looks really cool. So continuing the trip, you see that the number of people really depends per, I would say, per wing of the runway, or three of the gates. For example, here you don't see that many people, but if you would go in other gates, you probably would see a little bit more. Like here, you can see maybe there's also some security checks. Yeah, even that's being thought about, right? It's not too busy at the airport. So here's someone performing the security checks. So really cool to see. Shops are closed, at least some of them. Where are we now? Oh, here we are. So nice sign here. Then this the outside, right? But this hasn't changed too much, to be honest. Cars and trucks are driving. A little bit weird, weird way, but they're driving. So the de-icing zone, that's over there, if I'm correct. At least. Now I'm starting to doubt. Yeah, I think so. So let's go to it. Several things have been added here, right? Multiple buildings, including, this looks like a radar station, including some hangars over here. some generic buildings to, would say, make the airport even more realistic than it already was. Here we've got the fire truck. That's over here. And some smaller airlines over here there. So continue the trip to the other buildings, which are placed over here. Over there we see some more buildings. And a nice airliner over here. Let's have a look at it. Just has landed. Oh, watch out, there's another aircraft. Oh, luckily it goes airborne fast enough. So this is the part where they added all the buildings, right? This wasn't part of the previous update, and that's the same thing for where we're gonna fly to now. You can also see that there are some more buildings over here. These are, say, generic buildings, right? Not very specific to one airliner, but that's cool. Now this is the part which probably requires some more attention, right? You can also see it. This is really not the, I would say, modeling. So it's partially being modeled because some of the buildings are there, but it's not, I would say, the same as you would see on the runways and the taxiways, which we see a little bit further, like over here, right? You can see that this piece isn't done, but maybe that will be done in the future. If I'm correct, here are normally the, I would say, the de-ice is the de-icing zone, right? And other than that, there are between brackets not many changes compared to the ones we already looked at. But again, I would say a lot of changes already there, which makes the airport even greater than it already was, right? I'm still surprised by the quality which is being delivered. So that's really cool. So if you want to give it a try yourself, have a look at the video description, because in the video description you will find the download link for both the I would say airport itself. For the interior, it's included in the zip, but it's optional, so you don't have to put both folders into the community folder. You can decide only to put the, say, airport itself in a community folder, or do both of them, which means that you also have the interior in the I would say in your scenery, like we just looked at. If you don't add that last one, you don't have all the interior, but of course it's up to you if you want it. And then if you want to have the people, then you need to install Dave's 3D People add-on, which is also freely available on Flight Simulator 2. Here ends this video. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, then consider to use the like button. If you've got questions or comments, then feel free to post them in the comment box below. And if you want to stay up to date about new videos I'm posting, then make sure that you're subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.